All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's jump into it.
Breaking news. Look at the live scene on your screen right now. Federal agents now have clashed with rioters outside that facility, that Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE facility near Chicago.
Okay.
So they were protesting peacefully earlier, and then they had to hit them with pepper balls. And you could see all of the melee just moments ago, and now the federal agents are holding the line against the rioters. Jeez. They were 2 feet apart. Now they're a little bit farther apart, and if the camera could pull out, and I know that our reporter, Mike Tobin, is on the ground. He's with this photographer. I don't know if he can hear the sound of my voice, but we want to be able to see exactly. We've got most of the sign, but you see off to the left are the federal agents. On the other side of the sign, the protesters are being pushed back. Now, there has been a lot of protesting, but again, this turned into something different. Broadview, Illinois, outside of Chicago, and agents formed a line just seconds ago. I want to bring in
guys,
Mike Tobin.
Protesting is fine.
Mike, did something tip this in one direction, or did things just get too crowded? And was there any purpose in their movements as agents had to begin firing pepper balls? And
yeah, guys, what I'm seeing here is like, look, if initially the response was, okay, listen, guys, we're going to go ahead and peacefully protest. Great, no complaints here, guys. I mean, listen, utilize your First Amendment, but obviously do not do anything that would kind of go out of the realm of peaceful protest. I'm guessing, I don't know, some guys in black with masks on, let's say, popped up, and then all of a sudden it turned into something chaotic, because that's generally how things happen, right? The anarchists find out that there's a peaceful protest, and then they come and absolutely wreak havoc here. Let's continue.
Anti-ICE rioters.
There seem to be two incidents that drove what we're seeing right now. One, there was a vehicle that had to come into this temporary facility, and we're at the southwest entrance, and they had a lot of protesters there. So they needed to make space for that vehicle. And pardon my delivery, I'm just the aftermath, after effects of the tear gas. Also, it seemed that there were a few individuals that they wanted to detain. So they cleared out the crowd. They zeroed in. They had officers on foot who zeroed in on a couple of people. They put them face down and bound them up on the pavement out there. And they took those individuals into custody. And so what you see now is the aftermath. They've cleared out the, I would call this the southeast entrance to this temporary facility now, pushed all the demonstrators back onto 25th Street. And now you see them just holding the line right now to prevent them from going back to the same spot where they were before. Now you see all the demonstrators out there. A few of them are on the ground triaging, if you will, just dealing with the after effects of the gas and the pepper balls. In fact, something I can show you, I'm hanging up, put it right in front of the camera here. Here are some of the rubber bullets that are getting fired out there. For the crowd control. It's a kind of a hard, yet not entirely hard rubber. And this is the pepper ball. If you can see really close, it may be hard on your screen, but that is filled with the chemical irritant that kind of goes up into a cloud of gas after they fire it. They're using that a lot. They hit the fence with it, and it makes a cloud and clears the people out. Right. So this is the aftermath.
By the looks of it, very similar to those personal defense burner weapons, guys. Right? They shoot some type of kinetic weapon or bullet. And then also like a pepper gas, tear gas, mace type of bullet. Yeah, guys, those things are absolutely detrimental to your vision and your breathing. Okay, if those are being fired at you, you should probably move around a little bit here, guys. Let's not block the street. Also,
math of all of that, you got a crowd of people still intent on not backing down would be their choice of words, but standing in confrontation with these officers. And the officers here, some of them from ICE, some of them from Border Patrol, backing the people up to make some space. And you look now, way down that road, that is the space that they created to the southwest entrance of this temporary ICE facility in Broadview, Illinois. Harris.
Mike Tobin, you're giving us some great close-up looks at what it takes to keep that ICE facility and those federal agents away from the rioters, but they are still not leaving. You pointed that out. Could you hear anything that any of these rioters were saying or chanting as this was going on, as federal agents had to move in and push them back with all really means necessary in terms of non-lethal, because that's what you just showed us with that ball.
Right. It can be lethal.
Right, the non-lethal weaponry,
depending on where
they
they
use
get
gas,
hit.
they use the rubber bullets, they use the pepper balls. And then in terms of things that the protesters say, frankly, you've heard all of it before. They say, you know, Nazis, fascists, they say
Right,
totalitarian government, things of that nature. And of course, when someone gets picked up, they say that there was no reason for that individual to be picked up.
Right.
You hear that pretty much every.
And guys, that generally is like an absolutely idiotic thing to say, because generally the people that are being picked up have deportation orders, right? So if you have a deportation order, I mean, look at it as a warrant for your arrest, right? So what do you mean by they have no right to be taken? That's not a thing, guys. I mean, if you had a warrant out for your arrest, do you think that the police should not go after you specifically? All right, think about it like that, and I think we can kind of move on here. Listen, guys, it's getting very hard for the left to continuously here make these excuses here, okay? You cannot say that the right is out here doing all these absolutely wild things when the protests that the left actually start generally are moderately peaceful, and then they almost immediately turn into chaos, riotous behavior, violence, et cetera, and now things are kind of starting to make more sense for people in the back, let's say, who have not figured out why exactly Antifa and some of these other anarchist groups are now being deemed as terrorist organizations, guys. You can't be surprised. All right. I definitely wish we would have seen the footage of what actually happened rather than the aftermath. But if it's available, we'll definitely check it out.
Every time, and they're not really singing off a different sheet of music this time around.
And what is happening right now? I mean, I know that they won't go away. Has the crowd gotten much thinner? I mean, you would think that with all of that pushing back from federal agents, people would just turn around and go home. But they are waiting. What is the wait for? Have you talked with any of them?
Well, it usually increases the number once there's a conflict. It encourages them. You got to keep in mind the protesters who show up at a place like this with the painters' masks on, with the keffiyehs and whatnot. They're looking to make a statement, but they're also looking for the drama. They're not afraid of having a conflict. In fact, I think some of them are pretty encouraged to have some form of a conflict. And when you see the line form up, that's where the conflict occurs, Harris.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, guys, listen. It's very interesting that the same people who are absolutely upset and irate that ICE is basically walking around with their face covered, obviously for the main reasons of them being doxxed and their families being affected in some meaningful manner, right, are the same ones also who are now wearing masks and covering their face ups to kind of for the same exact reason, right? So how is one thing okay but the other is not? I don't know. It sounds like a contradiction, but I think that generally lives within the left anyway these days, guys, unfortunately. I think that's kind of where we are on the political landscape. Guys, listen, CNN and a lot of these other like massively left-leaning publications and media companies, what they are in fact doing here, sadly, is pushing the same type of talking point, right? Like if you want these things to stop around the United States of America, maybe, just maybe, we slow down the overall rhetoric that's, against government employees. How about that? What if we do that? All right. It doesn't seem like they actually want any of this stuff to stop, though, guys, and that's massively unfortunate here. But all right, listen, guys, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I will catch you guys later.